Hey everyone, welcome to this Dwarf Fortress Star Fort series. In this episode we're going to be making clothes. Clothes wear down, and if your dwarves wear wore down clothes, they get upset. Speaking of upset dwarves, I see one of our dwarves is a little upset. Let's quickly jump to it and see what's bothering it. To find dwarves, I press the U key. It opens up the creatures tab. You can also click here at the bottom. I just sort them by unhappiness. Our diagnostician is upset. Why are you upset? Let's see. Lonely. Uneasy after being unable to pray, uneasy after being unable to acquire something, bored, she wants to fight, and wants to practice martial art. Okay, well, one thing we can do to help is we can assign her to our squad. I nod. Welcome to the squad. Our chief medical dwarf is now also part of the squad. So when the squad does training, she'll also train. At the moment, the squad is pretty small because our fortress has got very low population. I didn't even really have a training because there's a low risk of getting attacked. However, what I am going to do is before we get on to making clothes, I'm going to make the fort a little bit more secure. At the moment, our trap hallway isn't very trappy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little drawbridge here. To do that, you press B for build, N for constructions, and then the drawbridge. And I want the drawbridge going up. So I select this option here. And I'm just going to click and drag it like this, and make it out of marble blocks. Great. I'm also going to make another drawbridge here by this construction that we did in the previous episode. This construction was just as an example of how to build things in the game. It's not actually very secure. You could make it a little bit more secure by building another drawbridge here. However, the top is still open, so things that can fly would be able to get in. And so I'm just going to build a drawbridge here at the entrance. I'm also going to, while I'm here, I'm also going to clean up and remove the stockpile. It's no longer needed. Again, BN, and then drawbridge, and again I want it to go up like this. This time it's a little 2x2 marble blocks. There we go. Once these drawbridges are constructed, I will link them to the mechanism that we have here, and then if we get attacked, our dwarves can just pull this mechanism. All three drawbridges will slam shut. We'll be safe again. We might want to put this one on a separate mechanism, which will give our dwarves that are on the outside a chance to quickly run in via the trap corridor. Our own dwarves and friendly dwarves won't get damaged by these traps because they know they're there, but we can do that at a later stage. Okay, now on to the main purpose of this video, which is making clothes. There are three things that you make clothes out of in the game. Three main things, let me rather say. Cloth, silk, and yarn. Cloth is mainly made from plants, yarn is mainly made from animal products like wool, and silk is made from webs. Webs you find in the caverns, so if I go up here. However, we're not going to be going into the caverns in this episode. Our fortress is a little bit too small for that. A lot of fun things come out of the caverns. You need to have a little bit of a military to defend, or you need to block it off and so on. So for today's one, I'm just going to focus on yarn and cloth. First step, I'm going to mine out a little section here for some more farm plots. By the way, I recently learned that if animals are butchered, if animals are butchered within sight of other animals, these animals can go into a panic. So this is probably not the best butchery layout, and we might have to move it if we want to butcher animals in the future. When I farm, I like to do two main things. Firstly, I always like to have plump helmets. Plump helmets are like a versatile crop for your fortress. Can be brewed, can be eaten, can be cooked, everything. Although I don't recommend you cook plump helmets, since cooking destroys the seeds. However, dwarves that just eat a raw plump helmet, which they love, will leave the seeds behind. The second big crop would be pigtails. So I'm going to make myself another little farm. BO farming and a farm plot. Let's hide this. BO farming and then the farm plot. And there we go. And I'm going to let it run. Okay, so now that this farm plot is here, I'm going to plant a few things. It's currently winter. Can't grow any pigtails in winter. So I'm going to say plump helmets. Plump helmets can never have enough. I love them. And pigtails. Pigtails. There you go. So we're going to have to wait for summer for our first pigtails to be planted. I double checked and we do have some seeds here. So we'll be able to get some pigtails in summer. Great. Your default embark should have some pigtail seeds. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this a little bit more, and I'm going to build some workshops in here. I'm going to jump back to our work area. So we've already got a clothier's shop, which is awesome, and I'm going to build a weaver. So while looking at my stocks preparing for this, I saw we had some pigtail some pigtail thread. So I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit, and then like any good story, start at the end, then work our way back. Over here, I'm gonna build some farmers. BOF for farming, and I'm actually it's a workshop called farmers. Let's make it out of, let's be unique and make it out of granite. Farmers is a workshop that's really busy, so we're gonna make a few of them and keep building up the placement. Okay, this drawbridge is done. Let's check the other one quickly. I believe they're both done. Okay, cool. So if I jump back to here and I press, and I can click link lever, and I'll jump back to the entrance and link it to there, and then jump back to the lever and press link lever and jump back to our construction site and click there. Now this lever will be linked to all three drawbridges. So when I pull it, all three will go up or come down. Once you have some pigtails, what you do is you click here and you say add new task and process plants. This task will get cancelled basically almost immediately because there's currently no pigtails to process. But what this task, oh, do we have something? Oh, we've got hemp. That's awesome. Yeah, so pigtails are one of the plants that you can use, but hemp is another one. So I'm going to repeat this in case we've got other plants around the fortress. And there we go. We made some hemp thread. Fantastic. Pigtails is the other thing which you can make thread from, which will result in cloth. And I think that's it. Yeah, they cancelled, which means we don't have any more unrotted processable plants. Let's see, maybe we've got some more hemp somewhere lying around. There's one. All right, well, I'm gonna tell the dwarves to gather this hemp. Oh, this one's dead, sadly. Oh, there's one, I see. Dish. Another one. Cool. Process with pigtails is the same. The nice thing with pigtails is that you can grow it indoors, where I believe hemp needs to grow outside, so it's a lot safer. All right, we made some space here. So next I'm going to build a workshop called a loom, which turns thread into cloth. And I'm going to build 2 of them. Yeah, also out of granite, why not? Okay, got our loom here. I see we've got the automatic orders on. That's awesome, which means our dwarves will automatically weave all the different threads we have into the different kinds of cloths. Easy way to see that is if you go to the labor screen, standing orders, you'll see the option here to automatically weave all thread. You can disable this, but I think it's fine for now. The other option here you'll see is automatically collect webs. If this is enabled, whoops, I didn't mean to close that. If this is enabled, the loom will create gather webs tasks if the dwarves have access to caverns or places which generate webs. Before I forget, the other thing we want to do is we want to gather yarn from animals. Animals such as the llama generate yarn, and the way to check that is if you click on the animal and you go to health and you go to description. It will say something like it is priced for its hair. Okay, so I'm going to click on the farmer. So the farmers are useful for a lot of things. The main thing right now I'm going to do is shear animal. And I'm going to make this repeat. So you see our dwarf has come to pick up the llama. And it's sheared it. Great. Now we have a whole bunch of llama wool, 15 of it. And the work order was cancelled. So you can see that there are no more animals left for shearing. Once you've gotten wool, you can click add new task here and spin thread and repeat it. I'm going to do it in a few of the places. There we go. You can also set up an order for this by pressing O and then say spin thread. And you can set up a rule by saying if the amount of unrotted hair / wool body part available is greater than 10. Okay, back in here. I see our dwarves have been busy weaving thread into cloth. Fantastic. So if I go to stocks and I go cloth, I see I have a whole bunch of cave spider cloth, pigtail cloth, and soon we will have some llama wool. There we go, got some llama yarn, and then this llama yarn is going to be taken left in there, and then hopefully someone will come pick it up soon and weave it into some cloth. Still busy with the pigtails. Let's prioritize this yarn. There you go. Yarn can be made from all kinds of animals, so feel free to experiment. Okay, so now we've spoken about converting plants and animal fur into thread, and then you take that thread into a loom and convert it into actual cloth, and then finally you can use that cloth in a clothier's shop. You'll see there are three main options again: cloth, silk, and yarn. If I say click cloth, now we can make all kinds of things. So let's make a cloth hood. Let's make a silk robe. Oh yeah. And let's make some yarn trousers. These are the three main types. Cloth again is plant-based, hemp, pigtails, etc. Silk is made from webs, spider webs specifically, found in the caverns. And there we go, and trousers. Yarn is wool and animal product. And there you have it, nice pair of llama wool trousers. You can see the quality of the dwarves equipment by clicking one of the dwarves and clicking items. So at the moment these are all good. When they start getting X's on the sides, it means that the equipment is worn, and then the dwarves will start getting some unhappy thoughts. Double X's means it's even worse, and dwarves will be really unhappy. And that's basically it. So just to summarize again, you'll go to your farmer's workshop, you'll process plants to make thread from different plants such as hemp and most commonly used pigtails, which you can grow indoors. There we go. The other thing you can do is shear animals. So any animals you have, we don't have any, that's why the order was cancelled immediately, but any animals you have that have enough wool on them will be sheared into wool, which you then choose spin thread, which will then convert the wool into yarn. Then you go to your loom. If you have the standing order, which if I press Y in the labor and click standing orders, you can see here, it'll automatically, the work orders will automatically get created to weave your yarn into cloth. Otherwise you can just click here and just weave one of them. This will weave the yarn into cloth, or the thread into cloth, and then in your clothier's workshop you can, depending on which one you've made, you can make different kinds of things, including bags, which are useful for all kinds of things. Cool. Before we go, let's see how our lever works. If I jump back, someone should pull it. Oh, there you are, you're pulling it. All right, jump back. Boom, fort is closed. Let's just check this one here. All right. No evil critters will get into our fort if we choose to close it. And boom, it's all open. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that explanation. Cheers.